What I'm about to tell you is going to change your life. So pay close attention because if you're trying to learn English, you must reevaluate your reasons, your motives, your objectives, and your feelings towards it. Because depending on what you find out, you may discover that English isn't for you, and that's just fine. I'm going to tell you a secret. As an ESL teacher, many people have come to me with the intention of learning English because they want to do better in their jobs. They want to perform better. They want to just get better positions or whatever it is that they want. I have gladly accepted. But as I got to know more of these people and as I find out more about their intentions, their motivations, I found out that they didn't exactly love their jobs. They didn't enjoy them. In fact, half of them didn't enjoy them, and the other half actually hated, like directly hated their jobs. So obviously, it was very difficult for these people to learn English because they couldn't keep up with the discipline and with the effort that was necessary for them to perform in a communication level as they wanted to, because they came to classes with an energy of lack, with an energy of hatred and despite towards their job. And obviously that's an energy that goes against a successful learning process, especially in the language. So these people were learning English from a place of obligation, and they thought of English as a doorway towards better job positions and better salaries, higher salaries, more money, more profit. And let me tell you, if you think English is the solution for your economical problems or for your profession career problems, you're all in the wrong. And I mean, it is collectively understood that English can offer you better job opportunities, better positions in different companies. But it is not the English that opens up those opportunities for you. It's your mindset. English is just a plus because you can get all of those things without necessarily having to speak English. You can do that with your native language. There are many leaders, global leaders, that they don't necessarily speak English and they are successful and important, but it is not because of English, it is because of their mindset. So if you're going to learn English with a mindset of obligation, with a mindset of, oh, I hate this, but I have to do it because that's how I can get more money, that's not how you do it. The real issue here are your objectives for learning English and the use that you are intended to have with English. So we're going to explore more about that, okay? Because many people think that English is just a bunch of words, but English is a language, and language is more serious than you think. Words are more than just words. Words create realities. Words give birth to actual things that exist in the 3D world. Words have been spoken before that created realities that we live in right now. So words transcend time and space. Words are in some way eternal. They never die. They create existence. They create life. And they never die. Words never die. Words open portals to different realities. And at the end, language is a process of giving and taking. Each word you say, meaning each reality that you create, will give you another word in return, meaning it will give you another reality in return. And we are creating, we are giving, and we are taking all the time through our words. So it is not something to be taken lightly. And bottom line, words and languages are so that we can be understood and we can understand. So if you're learning English, it's because you want to understand and want to be understood on a global and deep scale. Not just because you want to have the perfect answer in a boring business meeting. Not because you want to keep on being trapped in a job that you hate. That is why, depending on the use you give to English and language in general, you can create a career and a profession that is meaningful, that is exceptional and extraordinary. Or on the downside, you can create a career that is average and mediocre at best. Right? So for this, we have to remember, what does professional mean? Let's remember that professionalism means to be so in tune with your values and your talents that you cannot help but to put them at the service of society. In other words, being professional means to help other people using your talents and your abilities and all that stuff that you're good at. So, if you want to learn English for professional purposes, you must use it to go deep, to dig really deep into your values, into your talents, into your potential, your skill, your abilities, and everything that you are. Because other than that, it's a waste of time, it's a waste of energy and vitality. And by doing that, by exploring really who you are through your process of learning English, you're enriching your professional life by increasing the probability of finding your life purpose, and to fulfill it by expanding your talents, by having the opportunity to expand your talents and your abilities. So, let me ask you this quick question. Are you using English to know yourself better? Are you using English to know the world better? Do you intend to use it so that you can connect profoundly and more deeply to other human beings? Do you intend to use English to create, to build, to expand, to teach, to encourage, to help other people? Are you using it to make a positive change in the world? Or at least you intend to do so? Or are you using it so that you can be your boss's favorite? Or so that you can dim down the awful feeling of seeing your friends and your colleagues doing better than you? Do you use it because you want to survive, because you want to pay bills, because you want to keep yourself safe and secure in a company with which you don't feel any emotional connection to? Are you using it so that you can keep being small and afraid? Learning the most spread language in the world can be the most irresponsible act that you can possibly do. So, learn English because you have something within you that deserves to be shared with the whole world. Because you know you have something so important and so extraordinary that all the people in the world needs to know about. Learn English because it will allow you to expand yourself, to expand how amazing and how incredible you are, to expand your ability to help, to guide, to teach as many people as possible. Learn English because there's a fire deep down in your soul that wants it, that really deeply wants it and desires it, and not because it will look fancy on your resume. So this is my message to all my Spanish speaker or speakers from any other language that's not English and that are trying to learn English. Make English your most beautiful garden instead of your darkest cave. Okay? Thank you so much for listening to this. Thank you so much for hearing me. And really, if you're just starting to learn English, or if you're halfway in the process, really think about this stuff. Because as I told before, language is something serious. What is it that you intend to say? What is it that you intend to share with other people? Think about the value that you are going to give throughout your words, throughout your vocabulary, throughout your ideas. You know, English gives you the opportunity to take these ideas. And I mean, language in general. It doesn't matter if you're learning English or any other language. Language gives you the opportunity to take your ideas from your mind, from the abstract world that's your mind, and transcend them into any shape or form that you want. It is magical. It is really magical. So don't think of English as a tool, as a pencil is a tool, as a computer is a tool. Think of English as something that could be your second nature, as something that could be a part of you, like your hand is part of you, and you use it to express yourself, as your eyes, and you use it to see the world differently, as your heart, as your soul, as your brain. Because you cannot separate language from who you are and from who you want to be. The level of self-exploration and self-discovery that learning a second language can give you is, I can really describe it with words, but it is amazing. And I intend to talk more about this in the future, so subscribe and like this video if you want more content related to this. And see you around, my dear English learners and just my beautiful friends of existence. See you around.